Today, we are here to debunk some misconceptions about asymmetric encryption, ideas shared by two respected engineers, Alex Xu, with over 800,000 followers on LinkedIn, who published these ideas in several technical posts. Sahn, a software engineer with decades of experience at companies like Discord, Zynga, and NetApp, who expanded on this concept in a widely viewed YouTube videos. These ideas, though technical, contain significant errors. Together, we will analyze and clarify them to ensure accurate understanding of these critical concepts. Stay until the end to understand why these ideas are essential for securing modern systems. Let's start by examining three key statements shared by Alex Xu and Sahn. First statement. In LinkedIn, Alex Xu wrote,
"The asymmetric encryption goes only one way. This means that if the server tries to send the encrypted data back to the client, anyone can decrypt the data using the public key."
Second statement. In another LinkedIn post, Alex Xu wrote,
"The asymmetric encryption adds quite a lot of mathematical overhead. It is not suitable for data transmissions in long sessions."
Third statement. In a YouTube video by Sahn, it was claimed,
However, asymmetric encryption is not the only way to share the session key between the client and the server. In fact, in TLS 1.3, RSA is no longer supported as a method for key exchange. Diffie-Hellman is a more common way nowadays for exchanging session keys.
These ideas may seem logical to some, but they contain critical errors. Let's break them down together. Let's start with asymmetric encryption goes only one way. This statement is simply false. Asymmetric encryption works in both directions and can be used by both the client and the server to crypt or sign data. Here is how it works. You can encrypt the data with the public key and only the corresponding private key can decrypt it. Conversely, you can sign the message with a private key and anyone with the public key can verify its authenticity. In HTTPS, asymmetric encryption is not limited to the server. The client can also send his public key to enable mutual authentication. How this ensures security? The server can use the client's public key to encrypt sensitive data or responses, ensuring that only the client, the holder of the corresponding private key, can decrypt it. It works in both directions. The client uses the server's public key to encrypt requests. The server uses the client's public key to protect its responses. Claiming that anyone can decrypt data with the public key shows a fundamental misunderstanding on how public and private keys work. Even in mutual authentication, both parties' data remain secure by using each other's public keys. In summary, asymmetric encryption works in both directions and can be used by both the client and the server to encrypt and sign the data. Claiming it's a one-way, it's an oversimplification, and ignoring mutual authentication reinforces this misconception. Now, onto the second statement. HTTP switches to symmetric encryption because asymmetric encryption adds overhead. This is partially true, but it lacks an important nuance. This choice is an optimization, not a limitation. Here's why. Asymmetric encryption is indeed slower due to the complex mathematical computations it requires, but it's only used during the handshake, where a symmetric key is exchanged securely. Once this symmetric key is in place, it takes over for encrypting data because it's much faster for continuous transmissions. This isn't a weakness for asymmetric encryption, it's an optimized combination to ensure both security and performance. It's not asymmetric encryption is not suitable for long transmissions. It's simply that symmetric encryption is faster and more efficient for this role. Finally, in a YouTube video by Sahn, it was claimed that asymmetric encryption is not the only way to share a secret key. This statement is false in the context of HTTPS. HTTPS exclusively uses asymmetric encryption or variants like Diffie-Hellman key exchange to securely share symmetric keys. Even Diffie-Hellman, which might seem different, relies on similar mathematical principle to ensure secure exchanges. No HTTP HTTPS implementation bypasses asymmetric encryption. It's extended to guarantee server authenticity and secure communications. Claiming that it's not the only option is misleading and could confuse developers. Asymmetric encryption is the only method in HTTPS to share keys securely. These errors, while likely unintentional, can have significant consequences. When individuals followed by millions of professionals share incorrect information, it can mislead countless developers or engineers new to cryptography. Understanding this concept correctly is crucial to avoid vulnerabilities and to ensure the security of modern systems. Cryptography is complex, but that's not an excuse to propagate oversimplifications. To summarize, asymmetric encryption works in both directions and is fundamental to ensure secure exchanges. HTTPS uses an optimized combination of asymmetric and symmetric encryption, not because asymmetric encryption is limited, but because it's the most effective solution. Claiming that asymmetric encryption is not the only option for sharing keys is simply false in the context of HTTPS. Cryptography is like a safe with two keys, one to lock and another one to unlock. This system only works if each key is in the right hands. Oversimplifying it is like leaving one of the keys on the street. It opens the door to misunderstandings and unnecessary risks. Don't settle for half-truths. Security demands precision and rigor. If you have questions or other misconceptions you'd like me to debunk, leave them in comments. And don't forget to share this video so we can collectively protect the safe that is our collective knowledge.